Hi, for this video what we're going to do is we're going to find the exact value of the remaining trig functions when tangent theta equals 12 over 5 and theta is in quadrant 3. So if you remember from the easiest way to remember our trig functions, the common ones, sine, cosine, and tangent, if you can remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent, or easier to remember is SOHCAHTOA. So I always write this down just to help me out. Okay, so we're given tangent, which tells me that I have the opposite side over the adjacent side. Okay. The other information that they give us is that this is located in quadrant 3. So when we are drawing out our picture to help us see what signs we need to have, remember that this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So you always want to figure out what quadrant you're working with, and then from there you need to look at your signs. So whenever you're setting up your right triangle, you are always going to go from the x-axis and you're going to drop your right angle off of the x-axis. So you're going to drop your leg perpendicular to the x-axis, and theta is always going to be the reference angle that is formed from the x-axis and the hypotenuse. Okay, so if it helps you, when you draw your triangle, theta is going to be here, so that means our opposite side is going to be here because that's the side that's not touching. The adjacent side is going to be next to, and then the hypotenuse would be the longest side, or the side opposite of the right angle. So if that helps you to label the information, then do so. So we're told that the opposite side is 12. And the adjacent side is 5. But we have to remember that we are in quadrant 3, so we have to think of our signs of both our x and our y coordinates. So this would really be -5 and -12, because -12 divided by -5 does give me a positive value. So make sure that you look at your signs of your sides of your triangles, because it will impact your other trig functions, so the sign is always important. Okay, so now let's get started. In order to be able to find sine, we have to have opposite and hypotenuse, and for cosine we also have to know the hypotenuse. So right now we're missing that. So to find the hypotenuse, what we're going to do is we're going to use the Pythagorean Theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we're told that our first side is -5 squared, and our second side is -12 squared. And that gives us c squared. So then we would just simplify. So we could say that 25 plus 144 is 169. And then we would just take the square root of both sides. And 169 is a perfect square, so we end up with 13 as our hypotenuse. So now we have all of the information we need to be able to find the other trig functions. So we're going to start with sine, and remember that sine is going to be our opposite over our hypotenuse, so we would just take -12 and put it over 13. And that's it. You're done with that one, and we move to the next one. Cosine of theta, remember, is going to be our adjacent over our hypotenuse, so we would put -5 over 13. Tangent we were given, so we were told that tangent is 12 over 5. And then from all of these, the most common ones, sine, cosine, and tangent, we can find our reciprocal functions to find our other trig functions. So remember that the reciprocal of sine is cosecant. So we would just flip this over. So we would end up with -13 over 12. The reciprocal function for cosine is secant, and so secant would be -13 over 5, and it doesn't matter where you have the negative as long as it's included. It can be out front, it can be directly in front of the 5, it can be in the numerator. It doesn't matter as long as you have the negative there somewhere. They're all equivalent expressions. And then our last one is cotangent. And cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, so we could say that it's 5 over 12. So just to kind of recap, the first thing that I would do is draw a picture to know which quadrant your triangle is going to be in. And then make sure that you pay attention to the signs of your values in each of the different quadrants. Remember where x is positive, where is x negative, where is y positive, where is y negative. And then you're going to use Pythagorean Theorem to find the missing side. Sometimes they might give you the opposite and the hypotenuse and you have to find the leg, but you'll still use the Pythagorean Theorem to find that. And then your final step is just to find all of your trig functions that you were missing. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are additional topics you need me to cover, please let me know that as well.